moderators. These users have the same capabilities as standard moderators, but in addition, they can manage blocking words and change. Okay, close. I don't know what that means, but we are live. What does this mean? Interesting. Wow. People can have makeup. Oh, that's so cool. That's so cool. I love those lips. Wow. That's amazing. No, but we're gonna this blush. Oh, blush. I like the blush. Blush hearts. No, we're not doing that. Minimalist. Ooh, that's crazy. Bloom Dew. Rosy dusty lip. Rosy dusty lip. Okay, we're gonna take that off. Lenses. Oh, wow, interesting. We're just not gonna do any of that. Let's see what else do we have here. Q&A. Oh, Q&A. A poll. Ask a question. What should I ask? Hey, babe, what type of question should I ask in a poll, like a poll situation, POLL, about Alaska jobs? Like what is like a good poll question to ask?
Have they ever worked in the fishing industry?
So worked in fishing industry before?
In Alaska.
In processing fishing, worked in fishing in Alaska? Worked in fishing fishing industry in Alaska before? Worked in fishing industry in Alaska? Question. Have you worked? Have you worked in fishing industry in Alaska before? Ever? Have you worked? Have you worked in fishing industry in Alaska? Question mark. How do I do that then? No. Purple, green, blue, pink, yellow, black. White. Get it smaller. Start. Have you worked in fishing industry in Alaska? Start poll. All right, I have a poll. I don't know how many. Hi, everybody. I see that there are 9 people on here. Welcome to live chat. Remember to guard your privacy and abide by community guidelines. Hi, guys. How's everybody? I don't know. Are you guys able to see the subject of this live? The subject is. Oh, can you hear me? Can you guys hear me? Where should I put this? Maybe I'll put it on my hair. Let's see if this works. Louis, get away from my feet, please. Hi, guys. Can you hear me? Can you guys hear me? Please let me know in the comments, in the chat. And then, yes, awesome. Bales McDonaldson, thank you so much for responding to that. Do you hear a lot of background noise at all, or does it sound pretty clear? No, okay. Hello. You can't hear the background noise, Bales. You're leading my responses right now. So the background sounds clear. You don't hear too much interruptive noise in the back. I just want to make sure everybody can hear me clearly. Daddy,
Yeah.
volume please. Thank you. That's great. Awesome. Thank you. I really appreciate that. Hi, everybody. I see that there are 3 people in the room. I'm waiting a little bit. I just got on here. We're going to be talking about entry level jobs in Alaska. Awesome. Thank you, Bales. Sharon, friend, what are you doing here? How did you know I was here? Were you just perusing the YouTube webs? This is my first live, by the way. So I'm learning how to do this live. If there's something that I need to be doing that I'm not doing, please let me know. I'll appreciate any guidance, direction. But I am just going through some of these entry level jobs here. I do have one particular job that I really want to get out to the people right now because it is hiring season in Alaska. And this is the best time to start putting in applications and get into the places that you want to be in first. I see 4 people in the chat. Hi, Lou. I appreciate that. Do you see the title of this live by any chance where it says entry level jobs in Alaska? What are some fun jobs in Alaska? That's a good question. There are a lot of fun jobs in Alaska. Um, what are you interested in? What are some of your qualifications? Now, again, I am looking, I'm going to be talking about entry level jobs here, so it doesn't really matter what your background is. However, if there are some interests that you have, that's a great direction because there are so many resources and places that I can guide you to try to find some of these jobs. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of the site coolworks.com. Coolworks is a seasonal like gigs site. There are a lot of offers in places like Alaska on that site for a lot of seasonal jobs, hotel jobs, tourist jobs, adventure jobs. So it just depends on what you really want to do. What is the fishing job in Alaska salary of hourly? Hi, Lou. Good question. Ocean stuff. Okay, I see that. Um, so I'll answer you, Lou, really quickly. A lot of fish processing jobs in Alaska start at about $17, $18 an hour. The job that I am going to be talking about today, the start point is 1971. So I would say between 17 at the very lowest to 19 is the pay range for a lot of these fishing jobs when you are just starting out. This is entry level. While once you start working longer in some of these industries and start basically accumulating hours, you start earning more money. So in 2 years, you probably could be earning like in somewhere above $22 an hour, I'm assuming. And this is before overtime. A lot of these seafood jobs uh, make a lot of people that work at these seafood jobs make a lot of money via overtime because you're working really long hours. That's where the money is. It's in overtime. So ocean stuff, there are a lot of ocean style type jobs in Alaska, obviously, one of them being seafood processing. This one that I'm going to be talking about is a land processor, meaning that it is not on a boat, it is on ground. Some of these jobs are by the water, some of them are away from the water. Um, so, are you interested in entry level ocean jobs, or do you have a specific profession? Like, are you good in mechanics, welding, or anything like that? Leadership, management, HR? Lou, does that answer your question about salary? I hope it does. $17 an hour at the most minimum. But I'm not even really seeing, I mean, this job here in the description talks about $17.91, but all of the postings of this particular job that I have seen all say 1971. So if you decide to apply to this job, I would strongly suggest that you bring up the fact that the pay that they have suggested is the 1971 starting pay. You have been working in tech for 8 years and you're not good at your job. You're not good at it. You want something different. Are you in the United States? Hi, Miss Priyal. Miss Miss Priya, Miss Priya, and work there. Hi, Miss Priya. Unfortunately, you can't have kids at these processing plants because you are not given private individual housing. You are living in dormitory type living and housing. So having a kid there as a processor is is really, I'm not going to say it's not possible. It's just not gonna work if you're just coming here for the first time. Now, if you move here and you have a home here, that might be a little different. But if you are staying at the facility and they're taking care of everything for you, you cannot have kids there. You can't bring your child, unfortunately. I hear you. I hear you, Lou. Okay. Yeah, it's customer service is rough. It's not for everybody. I've definitely worked in customer service. I have a lot of experience in customer service, and I feel like at this point in my life, it's not really a good fit because people can truly suck. People can be really unbearable. So I understand what you mean by that. But let me give you some information about this job because it might be something that you're interested in. Okay. So this is a seasonal seafood processor job. This job includes room, board, and travel and food. Okay. So they pay for your travel to come to the uh, plant here in Alaska. They also pay for you to go back home. That's number one. Number two, you are provided room and board. So you're provided housing and they feed you. They feed you 3 meals plus snacks. They feed you a lot at these processing plants. I mean, at least when I worked at Silver Bay, they fed us a little too much. they fed us a lot. So I'm going to go ahead and just read this for you. I'm going to read the description of this job on their site, but if you would like to follow along, and if you're in front of a computer, I encourage you to go to indeed.com. Okay. You go to Indeed and you type in seasonal seafood processor, and you tell me what you find. But if you're not in front of a computer right now, it would be good to get a pen and paper so that I can tell you some of the really important things about this job. The reason I'm talking about this particular job is because anybody can do it. It's accessible to anybody as long as you're 18 years old. You are able bodied, meaning you can work, you don't have restrictions by health or anything like that. And you have to be legally able to work in the United States. That's it. Those are the three required these are the three requirements for this job. They're going to pay for you to come here. They're going to house you, they're going to feed you. Okay? So this company is called EE Foods. E&E Foods. The letter E and E. E&E Foods. Basically, that's like the blanket company name, but they have a seafood processor under that. They have HR and they have other work options available. But this one is going to focus on the seasonal seafood processor job that offers travel, room, board, and food, all inclusive. Where is everybody from in the live right now? Where are you located, Louis? Where are you located, Mrs. Priya? Well, Miss Priya and Bales. Where are you guys located? Because if you are not living in Alaska, sorry, they will fly you from Seattle. Okay, so if you live in any other, North Carolina, okay, great. So if you live in North Carolina, here's the catch. If you live anywhere outside of Alaska, you have to get yourself to Seattle. Okay, when they hire you for this job, you have to get yourself to Seattle, Washington. Seattle Tacoma Airport. That's where you need to be. And then this company, the seafood processing company, will fly you from Seattle to the location where you're going to be working. No, this is not 4 to 6 weeks. This particular job I'm talking about, it's a seasonal seafood processing job. Okay. So because it's for the season for salmon, it's from June to September. So you're gone from June to September. You're gone for 3 months. If you're looking to make the money that you want to make working at a seafood processing plant, you want to work the full season, which is usually 3 months. Okay, from June to September. That's how long the season usually runs, mid June to mid September. That is salmon season. So you have to be willing to be gone away from any commitments that you have. Unfortunately, that includes parenting for 3 months. Now, let me just go ahead and read about this job to you, okay? I will continue answering your questions. Please feel free to continue adding them in the comments, but I'm going to read this job information to you. And again, I want to repeat that this job is for anybody. You can qualify as long as you're 18 years old, you're able bodied, meaning you're able to work, you don't have health restrictions, and you have to be legally able to work in the United States. So let's go. I'm going to read this from the company website themselves, and also you can find this job on Indeed. I'll tell you how to find it. All right. So this job pays let me find the pay because it's better to just go ahead and tell you. Where is that? I'm going to go back to this. Why is that so little? Okay, so this job pays $19.71 an hour. That's how much it pays. $19.71. Now, a lot of jobs in the fish processing industry heavily rely on the overtime hours. That's what it's like a sprint, right? It's only 3 months. So you're working usually up to 16-hour days, sometimes a little longer than that. So think about this. You're making $19.71 per hour and you're working 16-hour days, 7 days a week. You're getting paid overtime, which is $19 an hour, $19.71 an hour plus half of that.
27.
So you're getting $27 an hour overtime, okay? And you're working about 56 hours per week. How much money do you think you're going to be making? You make that for 3 months. You don't have any other place to really spend that money. Let's just say you put your stuff in storage. Wherever you live, you have your stuff in storage, you have your stuff in somebody's garage. You're not paying rent wherever you're coming from. Okay, maybe you've got a couple bills you're paying for your phone bill and other commitments, debts, whatever. You're only paying that. You work for 3 months, you make a bunch of money. You can do so much with that money. And then the cool thing about working in the fishing industry is that once the season ends, there are other opportunities for you to work somewhere else or maybe in the same company, but for a different season. Say you get a 2-month break after that, you go home, you hang out with your family, you take care of affairs, you come back 2 months later and you start working for the fall. Maybe you're only gone a couple weeks, you come back for a different season. There's so many cool ways that you can utilize a lot of these seasonal jobs and make a really good amount of money. Okay. So I keep diverting from telling you about this job because I'm waiting a little bit to see if other people come in, but no worries. I'm not seeing others come in. So I'm just going to tell you about this job. All right. I'm going to read straight from here a little bit just so that I'm getting all the information to you guys. Okay. So thank you for your interest in working for E&E Foods Inc. in one of our Alaska processing plants. Okay. Each plant has a unique catch season based on its location. We produce headed and gutted salmon, fillets, and Sujuko salmon roe. Sujuko salmon roe is basically fish eggs, salmon eggs, very specific. Um, the summer months are usually June to September, and then that's for salmon. Halibut and black cod are in the fall and winter months. Okay? Here are your requirements for this job. You have to be at least 18 years old and must be required you may be required to complete a physical exam and drug test at a company appointed facility. It's not a guarantee, but they may require you to do drug testing and they pay for this. You don't have to pay for this at all. Okay? They provide this for you. You must bring your ID and you must provide eligibility to work in the United States. Okay? So the nature of work at a seafood processor is vast. They perform a variety of tasks that include sorting, cutting and cleaning, grading and packaging salmon, and cleanup afterwards. When you work at a fish processing plant, you're always going to have cleanup. Okay? So the work hours can usually be daily. The schedule is entirely dependent upon the size and timing of the fish run. You're not necessarily going to be getting fish every day, but because it is fishing season, at least for salmon, you can expect that you're going to have weeks when you have no days off. You're going to work Sunday to Sunday, 7 days a week, 16-hour days. That's a lot of work, but it goes by really fast. They mostly pay bi weekly, but some places may pay monthly, but I'm pretty sure these guys pay bi-weekly. So you get paid every 2 weeks. Um, these two places that they offer to work at for E&E Foods are really remote. What that means is that they are not close to big cities. They're in the like they are remote out in the villages of Alaska. There is no service in these places a lot of times. And when you do have Wi-Fi, it's very finicky. It's like it's not very strong Wi-Fi. So expecting to be scrolling online or having this impeccable wi-fi is going to be very low chances. So it's always encouraged to bring things that are going to entertain you, whether it's books, whatever gadgets that you may have that don't require wi-fi would be great. Downloaded movies, things like that. But do expect to be working a lot. Okay. This job sounds a lot like the fish job that I got when I first started working at a fishing company. Processing plant. When I started working at a processing plant, I was looking for entry level, all things provide everything inclusive. And this job sounds a lot like that. All you have to do is be interested in working, and they'll pretty much get you here, house you, feed you, and pay you. The catch is that you have to get yourself to Seattle, Washington. Okay. If you have $300 left in your pocket and that $300 is enough for a one way ticket to get to Washington for the day that they have a ticket for you to fly out, that's what you do. Because once you get there, you're going to get fed, housed, and paid. Okay. Who is still in here with us? I don't see anybody in the chat yet. Anymore, at least. Top fans. How sweet. Hmm. North Carolina, how do you bring kids? You can't. Other gigs usually 4 to 6 weeks. The gigs are usually 3 months. 3 month gigs. I think the laundry is done. What is that? Retouch. Ooh, that's cute. Interesting. Lighting up. Lighting. Okay. Hello. 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 Oh, green screen. No, we don't want that. We don't want a green screen. Hi. How are you doing? We are talking about entry level jobs in Alaska, and currently I am talking about a fish job. I'm talking about a seafood processor job that is all inclusive. It pays for your tickets to get here, it pays for your room and board, and they feed you. Okay, they feed you. If you're interested in this job that starts in June, tap in. Let me know you're interested. I'm going to tell you everything about it. All you need for this job is that you are at least 18 years old, you are able bodied, meaning you don't have health restrictions. Okay. And the third thing is that you are legally able to work in the United States. Let me see if I can write down some of this Really important information. This is for which seafood processor was this? I figured it out and then it went away. Oh, Pacific Star Seafood Processor. E and E Foods. Pacific Star Seafood Processor. The pay for this job is $19 and where is it? Wages.
Leave that over here.
What happened to the money? $19.91 an hour? Where? I have too many of these open. I gotta close some of these. $19.71 an hour. Did you say 27 at
On that, yeah.
like even?
Well, 1971, you said?
Yes.
So half of 1971 is gonna be $9.87. So 1971 plus 987, that's gonna be 28 something.
Or
19.71.
my math was not mathing.
29.56.
29.56. Double time?
No, it's time and a half.
Time and a half. I want to do some math calculations here for what 40 hours a week looks like versus
Here's something to keep in mind. Alaska pays overtime after 8 hours in the day. You don't have to hit 40 hours a week to get overtime.
Alaska pays overtime after 8 hours of work per day. You don't have to hit overtime. You don't have to hit 40 hours to start getting overtime. That's great. Okay, awesome. Um okay, that's not bad. That is not bad. You get food provided, housing provided, travel provided, growth opportunities, on job training. And what I did notice in that post was that you get relocation assistance. I'm just reading what he's offering. Yep, your paid training, referral program, relocation assistance. So who knows? But it could work out really well for people. I have been live for 35 minutes. The poll is saying 100% of 4 people have never worked in the fishing industry in Alaska. So that's good to know. I'm going to use my other phone to see myself live and see what is going on. I want to see what I'm seeing in the live here. I don't know if you can see me too, Daddy, but oh no, I can't use this phone. I have to download like a YouTube channel to see myself in here. View me as you. Use which one? Your regular phone, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Hello, everybody. How are you doing? I am talking about job opportunity in Alaska right now that is hiring right now for salmon, which is in June. It is all paid for, you guys. You get your travel paid for, you get housing, you get fed. Let me see. Let's open this. YouTube. It's you. How do you find me? Oh, there I am. Um, I don't know. Look at that. I need something to. It's like lagging a little bit. Interesting. No, we're gonna keep it on this one. Oh, I see you in there. Thank you so much. Hi, Greek Viking. How are you doing? Hi. Don't be shy to come in, you guys. There's a lot of really useful information here live about working in Alaska. Tell your friends to log on right now so that I can tell you guys how you can get these jobs without doing anything and come to see Alaska and see what's going on out here. Make your money, pay your debts. So easy. I've got the blueprint. You have worked in the fishing industry? Where did you work? What about tourism type jobs in Seward and other spots? Yes, there's a lot of tourist jobs in Seward. Have you been to Seward before, Miss Priya? I actually, on my channel, this same channel, I have a video of a hotel job in Seward. You can find that information in my playlist that says Jobs in Alaska. Seward is so beautiful. I have not want to go. I have not want to go. Yes. Seward is beautiful. It is located south of Anchorage, and there is a job again in on my channel right now. It is under the playlist Jobs in Alaska or Work in Alaska, one of those. That video is in there. It's going to give you the details of the job, um, and the hotel that I'm particularly talking about in Seward. Okay. And it offers housing. It might work out for you because I think there might be a way maybe you can have your child with you there, because some people live there year round. Okay. So that's on my channel. You can find it. There are also other hotels in Seward that have a lot of job openings. And there is also a website on that video for Seward where you can go and find more jobs. It's called coolworks.com. Can somebody in the chat put in coolworks.com, please? COOLworks.com. That website will give you options and show you available options for hotel jobs in Seward. Sitka, Greek Viking, you worked in Sitka. How long were you in Sitka? Did you like it? Miss Priya, there are definitely jobs. There's definitely a lot of options for jobs here. You just have to find them. I am one of the resources that you can use to find some of these jobs. However, there's so many other resources online that you can look at and see these options. And like I said, one of those is coolworks.com. And that information you will be able to find on that video as well, um, about the job in Seward. It's a hotel job in Seward. Okay. Where are you located in the US, Miss Priya? 5 years? Wow. What made you leave? What was your position at SBS? If you like any of the information that I'm giving you in this video, I encourage you to like it because it's going to help push me out so that other people can see this video and hopefully can get some information that they desperately need from this video, like jobs in Alaska. Oh, bigger and better things. I hope you found those bigger and better things. Do you have any advice for anybody that's interested in working at a fishing industry? I mean, at a fish processing plant, especially entry level, or even just people that have never worked in a processing plant? Do you have any piece of advice? And this is for Greek Viking. Give it a try. Adventure is out there, tons to see and experience. I agree. I agree too. I think there's so much opportunity to live and to learn. It doesn't matter what industry you're coming from, it doesn't matter what profession you're coming from. An opportunity like working in a fish processing plant in Alaska can be life changing. I know that people just like to look at like the specific task at hand, but they forget to look at everything that they gain from that experience or even being in that environment. It absolutely changed my life. I was a college student at the time, and I always loved adventure. I was not afraid of packing up my bags and going to do something for a month. Okay. So I decided to take a chance and give college a short break and came to Alaska to sling fish, in essence. Changed my life. Changed my life. I live in Alaska now. I love it. Um, I am not in the fishing industry at all at this point. However, the perspective that I gained from being in that environment, being around the people that I was around, and seeing what the fishing industry looked like from the inside, where our fish comes from, what quality of fish we're eating, how our environment is affected by this industry, all of it changed my life, changed my perspective. I was also able to pay some big bills when I worked here because you make a lot of money in a very short amount of time. And if you're lucky, the processing plant or your work is going to be in a location where you can't spend that money. Okay. So you're taking so much more of that money with you back home or putting it towards whatever activity or task that you want to put it towards, you know? But I highly encourage change. I highly encourage change. I highly encourage trying new things. And this entry level job that pays you $19.71 an hour, provides you with food, provides you with housing, provides you with transportation. It also provides you on the job training. And then, depending on how you enjoy the work, it also says that it provides relocation assistance. There you have it. Who is this job perfect for? Who is this job good for? This job is good for anybody that is 18 years old or older, anybody that is able bodied, doesn't have health restrictions, okay, and somebody that is legally able to work in the United States. Welcome back, Bales. Nice to see you again. um, if you are newly retired, okay, you're in your 60s and you're looking for an adventure, this job is perfect for you. Are you strong? This job is perfect for you. You're not just going to be slinging fish, okay? Not everybody is going to be in the pits of the processing plant. There are so many other opportunities at processing plants. People need their clothes washed. There's still housekeeping that is needed. HR is required. Office assistance is required. There's so many opportunities besides just processing fish at a processing plant. Even if you're just hired as a processor, some people are hired as processors and they get there and there's need in maintenance, and maybe they're good at um, mechanics, or they are electricians, or they are welders. There are opportunities there to do that stuff too. Okay, you're not just there automatically as a fish processor. No. And usually, when you go to these fish processing jobs during orientation, they'll usually walk you through the entire plant, telling you every section of the plant and what that section does. That is an opportunity for you to see where you feel like you would fit in best or work best at, and you can make yourself stand out in that situation and tell the manager, "Hey, I'm interested in working in that department." And chances are you will probably get to work in that department, especially when you get these jobs early in hiring. That's when they're going to fill up all those gaps that they have. Because when you're getting hired later, the chances of you having options gets lower, and you're just pushed into the spots that they need you in the most. Okay. So this is the perfect time to be applying for a lot of these seasonal jobs, especially if they are open to hiring at this point, because you can get to pick and choose where you go. Bales, what questions do you have about this job? It pays $19.71 per hour and $29.56 after for overtime. Alaska pays overtime after 8 hours of work. So if you work a 10-hour day, you get two hours of overtime automatically. Alaska does not wait for you to work 40 hours before they start paying you overtime. They pay you overtime as soon as you're over the 8-hour limit in the day. And overtime pay is $29.56 an hour. So if you're working 16-hour days, 8 of those 16 hours each day are $29.56 per hour. Okay? This job will pay you, they will feed you, they will house you, and they will fly you. If you live outside of Alaska, they will fly you from Seattle. It is your job to get yourself to Seattle from wherever you are living. If you live in North Carolina, you have to fly to Seattle, Washington, Tacoma International Airport. Then this processing plant will fly you from there to their location in Alaska. If you already live in Alaska and you apply for this job, they're going to fly you from wherever you're coming from in Alaska. Okay, so the biggest catch here is that you fly yourself to Seattle. You can literally start looking up tickets right now for Seattle, Washington for June, just seeing how much it's going to cost. Once they hire you, they give you a date when they're going to fly you. They tell you, okay, this is around the time that we're going to be flying you in from Seattle. Usually you get maybe like a week to 2 weeks, 3 weeks. It depends on when they're hiring you. So remember, the sooner they hire you, the more chance that you have so much more time to prepare for everything. Okay? So if they send you a ticket 2 weeks in advance and say, "Hey, we're flying you out from Seattle at 2 p.m." Okay? You're flying in from Seattle at 2 p.m. Alaska Airlines. It's your job to get yourself to Seattle before that 2 p.m. flight so that you can get on your flight to come to Alaska. They will also pay to fly. They will also fly you back when you're done with the season. They will fly you back to Seattle. And then from there, you can fly yourself out to your home state if you're not already from Seattle. Okay. Are there any questions at this time? I'm going to be doing more of these lives because I feel like it's just so easy to get information across live like this where people could ask me questions and I can give you some ideas of what is available for hire right now. I do need to make a video for this particular job. It's a really good opportunity for people to get to Alaska that are really interested in coming to Alaska. It just has all the makings for an entry level opportunity for people that are either very new in the industry, never been, starting over, really young with no job experience. This job is for everybody. It doesn't matter if you're a lawyer where you're coming from. It doesn't matter if you're a doctor. It doesn't matter if you decided that you want to roll off a bench in the middle of wherever you're coming from and get a job. It doesn't matter. This job, anybody can get. It is an opportunity to be able to come and see Alaska without paying much. Is it grueling 16 hours of standing? And it is grueling. Anything that you have to do for 16 hours is a lot of work. You could be picking flowers, but for 16 hours, that's pretty grueling, right? So it is important to know that this is very short term, but very concentrated. Okay. You only have 3 solid months to get salmon. Okay. So you are working 16-hour days. Sometimes you're working for weeks without a day off because you keep getting fish. Your hours are based on the amount of fish that is coming in. Okay. So the more fish you get, the more work you get. Are you going to have those days where it's like you've got 2 days and you got no fish? Absolutely. You're going to get those days. Okay. And those are the days you usually clean a lot, like you're doing deep cleaning because obviously you're working in food processing, so you have to keep things to a certain standard. So a lot of cleaning involved. So instead of working a 16-hour day on a cleaning day, maybe you're only working a 10-hour day and that's it, you're done, you've got the day off. And then sometimes you will just have like solid days off where there's no work. Okay. But the really cool thing about that is that if you if you have a day where you work like 5 days and you're working 10-hour days because there's no fish or whatever is going on, you can always